very difficult to truly visualize that we've got 8 days before we go to Vegas for the conference tournament. But in those 8 days, we've got 3 huge games, none more important than tomorrow when we play Boise State. And what could be, should be, probably will be, just like what we've seen in the past. And that will make for interesting coaching, playing, and viewing. So we're excited. We liked where we are. We love the fact that we've clinched the conference title outright, yet we are very determined to find a way to win tomorrow. Not unlike what I'm sure Boise State is. When we went there, I know you remember, but in case some people don't, Boise was on a 10-game win streak. We were both 4-0 in the league. They had won 17 straight games in Taco Bell Arena, and we found that way to get a win. We found a way to get a 56-53 hard-fought victory. And it'll probably be more the same tomorrow. Our players are excited. I'm sure theirs are. So we very much look forward to the opportunity. Any questions?
You said you guys obviously have clinched outright, but you said these last 3 games are huge games. Why are they huge?
Well, because they're games to play, and we want to build a resume. If I've been asked once, if I had $1 for every time I've been asked, I'd have a pocket full of money. Do you have to win the tournament to make the NCAA tournament? And my response continues to be, I don't know. But I do know that we've got 3 games to play before the conference tournament that all are building blocks for the selection committee when they get in that room to say this team is really good. Look at what they've done since December 31st, 2015. So that's, those are all bits and pieces that go into it. But most important, we want to win. We want to win every game we play. We want to be 17-1 in league play. And it will be hard to do because we've got 3 tough games to play, and we got a huge one tomorrow.
With Webb questionable for tomorrow with the sprained MCL, how does that change up their offense?
We prepare like Webb will be playing. Obviously, if he can't play, it takes a big chunk out of who they are. Just like when we couldn't play Jeremy in the Air Force game, it takes a bite out of who we are. They have other players. They'll be ready to play. But you look at his numbers, he's very, very talented and a big part to what they do. And yet they won without him. A year ago, they played 5 games. He didn't even play before they found out how good he was. So they'll have 5 guys that'll play if he can't play. But I hope he plays. I hope he's healthy enough to play because it will make them a full team, and I think we're all better served if we can have that.
Do you think your players maybe learned something from the Fresno game when their 2 bigs didn't play, and yet they were still, like you said, they still put 5 guys out there, and they were still good enough to beat you?
I think you learn on every stop, and if you don't say, I don't know who that guy is that's starting because he wasn't on the scout board, but if he's worthy enough to be at any school on full scholarship, he's got to be a good player. And your point's well taken. Fresno State's been decimated with injuries, and they're still winning. And they found ways to win without making excuses, and that's what we all do. You find a way to do the best you can with what you've got. So that's what we'll do. I mean, we need to make sure that we are as ready to play as we've ever been. I believe we will be. When we played them at their place, we knew their resume, that we knew that they were 4-0. We knew that they had won 10 in a row. We knew that they were 17 straight. And we talked about it. And just like they'll be talking about, hey, they beat us last time in our building, the first team to do it. So most important, though, is we have to be prepared to play a good Boise State team. And we will be, and we will play really hard, and hopefully we'll play well.
When you look at these two teams, we just talked about this with Skylar and Trey, either you were picked first and them second, or them first and you second in national publications, and you were clearly the preseason top two teams. And when you played in January, you were the top two teams. And since then, they've gone in one direction, you've gone in another. A lot of it is bad luck on their part. The Colorado State game, blowing a late lead in the pit. Now Webb's hurt. How fine is the line in college basketball between two teams like this that were probably pretty even, and now they're separated in standings?
I think there's such closeness in talent that health, luck, one play can make a huge difference. And you made reference to some of the things that have happened to them. We've won a lot of close games. We lost a close game. Our only loss was a game we had a shot at the buzzer to win. But we've had so many games that came down to the last possession or two. And we've won all of them with the exception of one. You have to have a little bit of luck. You have to stay healthy. You have to play well. You have to have all of the above. And sometimes, even when you play well, even when things happen, that ball doesn't bounce. And, some bizarre things have happened to all of us. None more so than to Boise. So they know what it's like, and they've been resilient. They've come back, and they continue to do that. And that's what good players do. That's what good programs do, and that's what both of us have. Anything else?
Any update on Jeremy? His status?
Jeremy is going to come out of the boot today to do some light stuff. It was in the boot after Wyoming. We didn't practice yesterday on the court. We did film work and weightlifting. So we're optimistic that he'll be able to play, and yet we'll see how he moves around today with what little we have him do. Whether he starts or not, I'm uncertain on that, but we are hopeful that he'll be able to play.
So you guys have clinched outright, 3 games left in terms of the league title. They don't need anything. What do you guys still have to play for these 2 games?
Well, we're still playing to get into the tournament and to make sure it's 100% confirmed. So, we still have business to handle in these last few games, and we still have the conference tournament. So, even though it's clinched, we're still focused, still taking it day at a time because we're playing for something else now.
How do you look at it, Scott? Do you think these guys, as a team, you kind of look at it like you have to win the Mountain West Conference tournament to get in? Or are you thinking your resume is good enough as far as your record right now to get in? Or is it still just kind of, as far as your thoughts, still kind of in the air?
It could be good right now, but it's not really up to us. And like I've said in the past, as long as we keep winning, we won't have to worry about anything. So, I think we just focus on winning all the games we can, so there won't be any issues when it comes down to it.
Great, thank you.
Jay, basically, we don't know how they pick the teams that go into the tournament and whatnot, so we just have to focus on ourselves and just win every game that we can so we get that 100% certification that we're in the tournament.
Do you guys look at that bracketology thing, or is it really worth looking at?
I haven't at all. I hear some things here and there, but I don't really pay attention to it until it comes down to when we actually get chosen on that day.
Trey, how much is last year's loss here against Boise staying in you guys remember it? Obviously, your own home loss last year.
Yeah.
It cost you an outright title.
I remember it like it was yesterday. It was like you said, we had a chance to win the title. We lost. I myself had one of my worst games as a basketball player. I remember it like it was yesterday. So it's one of those games, that we want to get back at them. I mean, we already have the title clinched, so it's just basically about pride at this point, and we just don't want to lose at home.
Sky, in the preseason, you and Boise were picked sort of 1-2. Some people picked them first and you guys second, but clearly you guys are the two teams above everybody else. And it was that way when you went up there to play them. And ever since then, there's been a lot of separation. Do you look at you guys as being a whole lot better than them, or do you just look at it as you guys got a lot of things went right for you and a lot of things, weird stuff has happened to them in the last second game, blowing late, lead at New Mexico, now Webb is hurt?
Yeah, things happen. Anybody is capable of losing to any team in this league. Everybody in this league is a competitor, and Boise is a real good team. And anything can happen on Saturday if we don't handle our business. So I wouldn't say that we're way better than them. Like you said, things just haven't gone right for them, and it could have been the same for us in all the close games we had. So.
Is there something they do that makes them a tough matchup for you?
Yeah, their bigs can really shoot the ball. Where normally as the bigs, when you run back in transition, you're used to just going straight under the rim. But now you have to be more alert because you have bigs who are getting pin downs for them during fast breaks for threes. So it's just more about being alert because they have some real good shooters.
Trey, about that game last year, not to harp on it too much, what was so bad about it for you?
Just remembering we had a chance to win the game. They kind of came back and it was still close. And I remember just AQ fouled out, I think, and I had to play the rest of the game at the point guard. I just had a lot of open shots that I missed, and I just felt like I just had the worst feeling, like I let my team down. So just having that feeling was terrible, and it's just a feeling I don't want to have again. So make sure I'll come out and be ready on Saturday.
How much has that game motivated you, through the off season and this season?
It's motivated me a lot. Just the losses in general. No one likes losing, so you just want to come back in off season, work on the weakness of your game, and just try to get better and better, so you can help your team next year.
Skylar, with the title already clinched, you have 3 games left. Obviously, the goal is to win the last 3, but are you going to take any moment to just take a step back, maybe pre-game warm-ups or right before tip-off, or you're just going to try to take everything in, enjoy the environment?
Yeah, I definitely will. When we came back from Wyoming and we were on the plane, I took time to appreciate everything. And every time before the game, I always sit down and I just soak everything in. So we have appreciated this a lot, step back and enjoyed it. But, we still have business to handle. So, I'll appreciate it, but then I'll snap right back in and get focused and ready for the game.